Hey guys, so welcome to another episode of my fitness diary. Anyway, so this week has been going okay. Last week I talked about how I was feeling kind of sad and wasn't really getting back into the exercise groove, but then I ended up kind of getting over my minor bout of depression by, I used a few techniques that I actually blogged about on my blog, Fit Flexitarian, but the thing that really got me out of it was actually dancing. Since then I felt pretty much back to normal. I didn't do as much exercise as I wanted this week. I kind of kept up with my, walking 20 minutes every day. Mostly I've just been taking little lunchtime walks, and that's been working really well for me. But I really would like to start trying to, walk up and down the stairs at my job more, and I want to just do a lot of other things. But what I really actually wanted to share with you this week is that I recently attended a special conference for my nutrition school, the Institute of Integrated Nutrition, and at the conference, Dr. Andrew Weil spoke, and he shared a technique that I actually started using for the past week and a half, and I'm feeling so good about it. It's really simple, actually. It's a breathing technique that he taught pretty much everyone, and it's something that he really teaches people that he believes in. He's a doctor at the University of Arizona, and he's really great. And what I really love about the technique is that it's so simple. He makes the point that breathing is the only function that you can that is completely voluntary and involuntary at the same time. It's something that you can control, but it's something that you have to do. It's really interesting. And, he talked about how yoga is really tied to breathing, and I'm a huge fan of yoga, and I do realize that at the end of the yoga class, when we do, deep breathing exercises, that's when I kind of feel calm and centered, and, maybe I haven't been feeling that way because I haven't been doing yoga in a few months. So, I'm going to teach this breathing technique, and it's really simple, and, basically, he recommends doing it twice a day, and he just says that it's great for just feeling good and for calming down, and it's something that just, when you get used to it, you just automatically kind of feel centered and grounded, and it actually also helps you because, your lungs are such an integral part of your body, of course, because everyone needs to breathe, right? You can go for a week or two without eating, less without drinking water, but you can't go more than 5 minutes without taking a breath, maybe even less, So it's really important. So the breathing technique is actually really simple. He calls it the 4-7-8. And the reason he calls it that is because you take a breath in, a deep breath in through your nose to the count of 4. You hold it for 7, and then you breathe it out through your mouth for 8. And you do this very slowly and gradually. And I'm not really good with counting in my head as I'm doing this exercise, so I just count on my hands, and I feel a little silly doing that, but I just can't concentrate on my breathing and count at the same time, so I just kind of keep track on my hands, but I find that it really works for me, and it's really easy. It's basically, I'm just going to demonstrate it for you. So he says if you're sitting, make sure you sit with your back as straight as possible and your feet on the ground, which is very important in terms of grounding you. So, I just close my eyes and I go, okay, and I close my eyes, and I breathe into the count of 4. So you saw what I did there? I breathed in through my nose to the count of 4, held my breath to the count of 7, and then breathed out to the count of 8. And what he recommends is you do this in the morning and at night. I try to do it pretty much when I wake up. And I've noticed for the past few days that it actually kind of helps to awaken me. I think it's just that the rush of oxygen to my brain kind of gets me more alert than usual, which is actually weirdly has me feeling, really good before even my shower is what usually wakes me up. And then doing it at night. And at night, it does give me kind of that rush of oxygen, but it also calms me down. And it's almost like, meditating before bed where your body just calms down. It's sort of like that, but a shorter version of it, I guess. So what you should do is do that. Remember, it's 4, 7, 8. Breathe in through your nose for the count of 4, hold it for the count of 7, and then breathe out through your mouth for the count of 8. And you do that for 4 breaths, you know, in the morning and at night, 2 times a day. Eventually, you can work up to more, and eventually, after about a month, he recommends that you, or not recommends, but he says you can actually do it for 8 breaths, but I think I'm just going to stick to 4, maybe go up to 5, depending on how I feel. But he says, you know, you don't need to do this, shouldn't do this for more than 8 breaths. So, and after about 6 weeks, he says it's actually, your body gets so accustomed to this kind of like calming, centered breathing technique that you can actually use it to, you can use it basically before you react to something. So, what he means by, or what I mean by reacting is that, you know, someone yells at you, or you have a stressful day at work, or you're in a fight with your partner, or you're about to exercise, or you're really, whatever you're feeling, before you react to something, especially something sudden, you do this breathing technique and you calm down. And, you know, it hasn't been 6 weeks yet, so I haven't started to try this, but I can definitely already feel how this kind of breathing helps, you know, helps me be a little bit less anxious about my day, because, you know, sometimes I wake up in the morning and, you know, I've done this technique even though I've been a little like late in waking up a couple times, and, you know, I wake up and I'm just like, oh shit, I'm gonna be late to work, or oh my god, I have to take a much quicker shower than usual, or whatever. But doing this technique, even though it takes, you know, another like 2 minutes out of my day, but doing it still, it like calms me. You know, I don't know how better to explain it, but it really makes me feel good. And at the end of the day, you know, sometimes I come home and I'm stressed, and, you know, I don't eat a good dinner, or, you know, I didn't maybe get as much walking in as I could. You know, I'm shooting for 20 minutes every day. You know, there's been a couple of days where I've walked 15. I'd like to walk 30, you know, ideally. You know, but doing this breathing technique, even like before changing and brushing my teeth at night, it just calms me. You know, and I really believe that controlling your breath and being able to use this technique to, you know, calm down in everyday life, it's really important. Because he's right when he says, you know, I don't know if you've ever done yoga before, it's something that I really like. And I do find that, you know, proper breathing, I mean, who doesn't say, you know, count to 10 before, you know, if you're getting in a fight, count to 10 and then, you know, proceed or then react in whatever way to calm down. And this is kind of the same thing, except it's a technique that actually, besides calming down your brain, it calms down your body. You know, the breathing just kind of centers you. And, you know, honestly, I'm not sure how better to explain it than to tell you, you have to try it. You really, really do. I mean, do it for a month and do it consistently and tell me you don't see a difference. I mean, I've been doing it for like a week and a half to 2 weeks and I already feel a difference. I really do. And I just feel a little bit more centered, you know, and I wish I had started doing this when I, you know, felt a little depressed a week or 2 weeks ago. But now that I've discovered it, you know, I even felt, I felt a little like stressed at the end of the day. I mean, today's Friday, but, you know, I came home and it was just a hard week and whatever. But instead of waiting to do it at night, I actually did this technique as I was sitting at home when I got back, and I feel much better now. I mean, don't I look and sound like I feel better? I really do, and I really think it's something you should try. Anyway, that's my journal for this week. Next week is Thanksgiving, a holiday that I'm really excited for, and it pretty much starts the month long of, you know, snacking and eating not good and all that stuff. So, but I'm still going to be keeping up with my exercise. Next week, I'm actually going to work on developing some holiday healthy eating tips and how to stay fit. I think I'm literally going to have to look at the month of December in my calendar and just plan something ahead of time. Anyway, so let me know if you've tried this technique and have a happy Thanksgiving. I'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching.